Good night, Stellafane! All right. So you've heard that this year's convention is being dedicated to kids, the next generation. And I'd like to start by thinking that we were all kids once. And some of us are just big kids. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to grow up because I'm a Stellafane kid. Now, those of you of my generation know Jeffrey Giraffe. And come on, how many of you have the earworm? How many? I want to see your hand. Could you sing this song? No, not yet. Perfect. It's going to be a great night. All right, next. Okay, no, yep, okay. So, what could a giraffe be good at astronomy? Maybe tall daubs. But seriously, let's talk about Stellafane and the role that children have always played here. So here's a picture from the 1926 convention, and hopefully you will see if I circled it correctly in the next slide, that there were young people starting from the beginning of the Stellafane convention. And here's a picture from the mid-50s. Shh, no spoilers. Who is that very young child in the front row? You'll find out in a few minutes. Again, 1962, I was just looking through pictures from historical conventions. You can see in front of the turret, or I guess in the back of the turret, a bunch of young people. And young people started contributing their own telescopes to the competition. And why is this important? Because the kids that we can get hooked on astronomy here on Breezy Hill will be the next generation of astronomers and astrophysicists and engineers and amateur astronomers and people who appreciate the night sky. And who might some of those people be? I'd like to take you down memory lane, some people that you may know. And if you don't know them, you're gonna know them after this. Now, when you think of Stellafane kids, who do you think of? Al Nagler. And it's a family affair with the Naglers. It's not just Al. And they love Stellafane so much that they actually had a professional painting made of their family, including the cat at Stellafane. Now that is dedication, folks. Another person who's been called out tonight for being a stalwart here at Stellafane is Bert Willard. And here is Bert when he was a little tiny bit younger. His first telescope, 1956, a 6-inch on a Springfield mount pipe fittings. Hey, there you go. I asked people to send me pictures, so the commentary was sometimes the best part. So you might know Mike Patterson. He worked with me at Reflector Magazine for the Astronomical League, did the bulletin here at Stellafane for many years. Here he is, as he says, a rather sullen-looking teenager with the scope I made, and my dad helped me rather too much with the mount. I like the honesty. Dennis DeChico. Could you have picked him out without the red arrow? So he gave me a lot of great commentary about not only his first coming up to Stellafane, but also with his daughter, Hannah. And there's a more recent picture in the upper left. In the upper right is one of Hannah's early Stellafanes making ice cream. And so there's a lot of traditions at Stellafane that maybe not everybody knows about, but they're very, very meaningful to people who've taken part of them over the years. And they never really forget those special moments here at Stellafane. This is my very first Stellafane tag. I'm sorry that it's very sort of washed out. For some reason, I use red ink. Maybe I knew I was going to be a college professor one day. It's from 1979. And it was out Miller's Field. I literally slept out in a sleeping bag. I didn't even have a tent. And I was hooked. And look at me now. So was that a good thing or a bad thing? You tell me. Okay. But all of you have your own stories, right? You always remember your first Stellafane. And those of you for whom this is your first Stellafane, it is addictive in the most wonderful way possible. And we look forward to you coming back year after decade after century. Now, here we go. Yes. I don't even have to comment on this, right? But where are they now? Next. You've been seeing the incredible young woman that Katie has grown up into. And her mom's not too shabby either. And we were talking about who's the youngest here, who's the oldest here. Some people were, I don't know that anybody's actually been born on Breezy Hill, but the Bruning grandkids are pretty close, okay? When you've been to Stellafane when you're 6 days old, and you're still coming back, and you still love this place with all your heart. And not to be outdone, of course, her brother. And sometimes kids will recreate a decade later a picture that they did at Stellafane goofing around. There we go, the Mata family. I love, can you see on Mario's shirt it says #1 astronomer? And then on Melissa's it says baby astronomer? Yeah, and we talk about generations here on Breezy Hill. And we love to have generation after generation of a single family coming back. And then again, here's his son, Justin, with his son. Hey? And some people who sent me pictures from the Wayback Machine. I mean, you know, I don't know if Kate knows that these pictures are up here today, but you can see that people who are adventurous as young children at Stellafane remain adventurous later in life. And so we tried to figure out who some of these kids were. Again, if you know who the blue arrow is pointing to, shh, spoilers, don't. Okay? But people had a great time helping me with this project, trying to get pictures of themselves and their children and their grandchildren very, very young. So let's try to figure out who that guy is with the red arrow over his head. Some people know I know over there. Does this help with his dad's homemade 22-inch telescope? Nope. Okay. Big reveal. You too can get first place in optical judging if you come to Stellafane since you're knee-high to a grasshopper. And over the years, Stargazer Steve has helped many, many children put together a telescope that they get to keep, including Anna Bilo, who I already warned I was going to put this picture up of her. And so I'd personally like to thank everyone who has helped to make Stellafane a child-friendly and family-friendly place over the years, including some of the following. The kids raffle has gone back at least to 2001. Thank you to everyone who has donated a prize to the kids raffle. To Paul Fusil and his teens activities from 2014 on, thank you, and Dominic for doing this. Thank you for everyone who's come and taken part in my kids' activities that I've done since 1995. It's great to see the kids year after year after year. For example, the lovely and talented Goulet sisters. Here they are in 2016. They are here tonight. I saw them. And you may remember last year that Caitlin won the inaugural Raymond Fairbanks Youth Outreach Award. This is what happens when you come to Stellafane year after year after year, and you feel the love of astronomy and of Breezy Hill and of camaraderie and of telescopes. And so we want to pass this on to the next generation. And the good news is we are doing that. Here's Frances O'Reilly's granddaughter looking through the Shupman. And we have many generations of Naglers here. And this is an amazing thing. I met some of them today at the children's activities. But of course, the original Stellafane kid was Russell Porter, because he was always a curious kid at heart. So now it's time for the great reveal. Who is that young man in the bottom left picture? Let's see. Big reveal. This is the at-mobs at Stellafane. Yes, I'm sorry, Steve. Steve Simone with his parents, Andrew and Norma. And I would like to thank personally Steve for bringing his lovely wife, Terry, who is now our secretary. So again, Stellafane is a family affair, generation after generation after generation. All right, now we're all going to sing. You said you knew the song. I've changed the words a little. All right, are we ready? I don't want to grow up, I'm a Stellafane kid. They got a million scopes at Stellafane that I can play with. I don't want to grow up, I'm a Stellafane kid. I push some glass and take a class, it'll really flip your lid. From cats to newts to Casa Great, it's the best art party there is. Gee whiz, I don't want to grow up, 'cause maybe if I did, I couldn't be a Stellafane kid. Thank you, you've been a great audience.